Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the advanced digitizing tools in QGIS to subdivide a parcel. Splitting a polygon is quite an easy task, but splitting a polygon with exact measurements, which is often needed when you're working with parcel data, is quite difficult. So in this video, I'm going to show you some techniques that will allow you to subdivide a parcel with exact measurements. Let's get started. The dataset I'm using today comes from the San Francisco Open Data Portal. You can search for the parcels layer and download it and use it. The resulting data is quite large, so I'm using a subset of data for one of the neighborhoods, but you could use any dataset that you may have and try to replicate the same exercise. So here's QGIS. I've loaded the parcels layer here. I'm using QGIS 3.16. Notice that the CRS of this layer is EPSG 2227, which is a feet as the units. And this is important because all the measurements that we'll be doing will be in feet. If your data set is as a CRS, which is in meters, your measurements will be in meters. So just be aware of that. If your data set is in EPSG 4326 or any other geographic CRS, make sure to reproject it to a projected CRS. So you can use meters or feet as your measurement units. All right. So first, I'm going to show you what are the tools that we're going to use. Let's say I want to split this polygon into two smaller polygons. I'll put the layer into the editing mode and select the polygon that I want to divide. Then right-click anywhere on the toolbar area and select the Advanced Digitizing Toolbar. This toolbar has all the tools you'll need to do editing operations such as splitting and merging features. Here you see this is a tool called Split Features. I'm going to select this tool and then draw a line passing through the parcel. And then I can right-click. And as I do that, you'll see that the polygon is now split into two separate features. Right? So this is quite easy, but it's also quite arbitrary. When you're doing this in reality, you will need to divide the parcels according to exact measurements. So I'm going to show you how to use this tool in combination with other tools for measurements. All right. So I'm going to do Control Z and get back to the entire parcel. Let's do some measurements first. So there's a measure tool here, and I'm going to change the unit to feet. And I'm going to select Cartesian. There's an also ellipsoidal option that uses the WGS84 ellipsoid to do the measurements. But since we are using a projected CRS, we need to do the measurements in that CRS, and Cartesian options allows us to do that. So I'm going to draw a line and select these two vertices. Once I'm done, I'm going to right click, and it shows me that this particular parcel is 97.5 feet long. Say I want to divide into two parcels where one parcel is 50 feet from here, right? So how do I do the measurements and then do the split? To do that, we need to construct some reference lines. And once we have those reference lines, we can use that line to split the parcel using that split features tool. So I'm creating a new layer. So say create a new temporary scratch layer. And the line type is going to be a line string. And I'm going to keep it in the same CRS as the project. Leave everything to default. And now I have a new scratch layer here. And I'm going to change the styling to be a red line so you can see the features easily. And I'm going to now use the add line feature button and draw a line here. And right click to finish that. So I have one line here. Now I want a line exactly 50 feet away from here. So to do that, I'm going to right click anywhere on the toolbar and enable this Advanced Digitizing Panel. This contains the tools that were formerly known as CAD tools, and it allows you to do exact measurements and construct CAD-like features with right angles and exact lengths. Click here to enable the tools. And I'm going to start drawing the line. So I'm going to start with this vertex here. And first thing I want to do is I want to draw a 50 feet line. So here on the D, which stands for distance, I'm going to enter 50 and press enter. And as you can see, now my drawing is constrained to only the vertices which are exactly 50 feet away from the starting vertex. And there's a lock indicating that my distance is now locked. So this is great. I need to lock the other dimension where I need to be able to select the exact point here. And I can use this tool here which says perpendicular. So I want to be able to draw the line perpendicular to the first line that I drew. So I'm going to select this perpendicular tool, show it the line that I wanted to use as a reference. I'm going to click the red line here. And now you can see I have only two options. I can put a vertex here and here. So the tools are constraining where I put my next vertex, and that allows me to put the vertex exactly that matches this criteria. So I'm going to put here, and now you can see the line has been drawn exactly at 50 feet along that perpendicular to the first line. I'm going to continue to do the same. I want to draw another line. This time I'm going to use the parallel tool here. So I'm going to change this to parallel and say I want my next line to be parallel to this line. You can see my drawing is constrained to the parallel line. So I'm going to extend this line and finish by right-clicking it. And it's important to extend your line beyond the parcels, because the line that we're going to draw for splitting the parcel has to pass through the entire polygon. I'm going to draw one more segment, and this time I can say perpendicular to the segment, and can finish that with the right click. So now you can see I've constructed some reference line, and this line is now, if I split my parcel along this line, then I'll have this parcel which is exactly 50 feet. So let's try this. I'm going to switch back to the parcels layer, select that layer, use the selection tool to select the polygon, and then use the split features tool and say I want to split it along this line, and right click, and now I have the parcels split into two parcels exactly. And if I want to verify that, I can do the measurement again and see that this one is exactly 50 feet, right? So this is a technique that you can use to do exact measurements. If you want to even digitize, so you want to digitize a new parcel where you have a bearing and the distance, you can use the same technique to draw a line at exact angle and distance that you want. I'm going to show it again just for you to kind of get a feel of the technique here. Let's say take this parcel, and this one is 55 feet. Let's say we want to split into exactly half, so 27.5 feet. So I'm going to construct some lines here. So switch back to the new layer. I want a line passing through here at exactly 27.5 feet. So I'll start a new line here and say the length of this line is going to be 27.5 feet. And then here you can see it's quite tedious if you're doing this along to kind of go and click this button. So there's a handy shortcut with the button P. So if you press the P key, it allows you to toggle between a perpendicular mode and a parallel mode. Right? So now I want to say do a perpendicular mode. So I'm going to press P again, select this, and now it's constraining me to put the vertex only here. I did this, and then I'm going to do another, press P again, say next one should be perpendicular to this, and I've got my line here. I'm going to extend this further, saying one more perpendicular line, press P, and construct the line here. Right, so now I have my reference line that I can use to split this parcel into half. So I'm going to switch back to the parcels layer, select this, and use the split features layer tool to draw vertex here. So and there you go. We have split the parcels into two parcels of 27.5 feet width each. One tip is if you are not seeing this purple snapping icon here, where you're not able to put the vertex exactly at the intersection, you may want to right click and select the snapping toolbar. And the snapping toolbar has this button called, which looks like a magnet. If this is off, then you may not be able to snap to the exact intersection. So make sure it's on, and there are some additional settings that allow you to pick the point exactly at the intersection. Hope you liked the video and learned some new skills. I highly recommend checking out the QGIS documentation. I'll add the link to the video. This documentation is a great explanation of all the tools that are available in the toolbars and the panel, and it shows you how to use them. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more QGIS editing videos.